Hello and welcome to another video. So what are we doing today? Today we're doing the book Addict Tag. So without further ado, since I don't think this needs any introduction, let's just get into the tag. Number one is, what is the longest amount of time you can comfortably go without picking up a book? And I don't know if this means without physically picking up a book and reading it or without buying one. So for the reading one, I would say I can go up to like 2 to 3 weeks without reading. I'll just spend my time on TikTok, but then I will regret it so much that then I'll go on like a binge read and I will read all the books on my bookshelf. So that's for reading. And as for buying books, I think that as long as I have books to read on my bookshelf, I don't feel the need to buy a book unless it's like a new release. So I would say about like 2 to 3 months I can go without picking up a book if I don't need one, because there's a lot of books on my bookshelf, so I generally do not feel the need to buy books if I already have books on my TBR. Generally, I can't say that is always the case. Number two is, how many books do you carry on your person at any given time? And in this one, ebooks count. I don't have any ebooks, but I guess I do have audiobooks. So I guess that would be 3 then, because I have the whole Illuminate trilogy on my phone. I don't really usually carry books because when I move around, I'm usually the one driving, so I can't really read while I drive. That would be dangerous. So I would say yes, 3 audiobooks. And when I take public transport, I usually just take the paperback I'm reading at the moment. Number 3 is, do you keep every book that you buy or that you receive? Or are you happy to pass them on to make more space for new books? And I'm actually pretty happy to pass them on. I have a reject shelf over there. If you've seen my reorganizing my bookshelf video, then you probably have seen this reject bookshelf, and I'd be pretty happy to pass them on to someone else. I'm just looking into ways of doing that right now. If I don't like the book, if it doesn't spark joy, then why let it take up precious space in my bookshelves? I mean, if it has a beautiful cover of a beautiful spine, I might keep it, honestly. Number 4 is, how long do you usually spend in a bookshop on a standard visit? And for me, I would have to say, if it's in one of the Spanish bookshops, then from maybe 30 to 40 minutes, just because the English section is not that big, so I usually just browse through the books in Spanish because I like reading the original version, so I'm not gonna buy any of those, and just spend my time in the manga, comic book section, or the merchandise section. Though, if I went to the US or England and visited, I don't know, Waterstones or Barnes & Noble, I would spend like an hour there. They usually have like cafes, so you can spend your whole day there, and honestly, I would spend my whole day and all of my money. Number 5 is, how much time per day do you actually spend reading? If I'm reading a book and I know I want to read it, then I spend about like an hour to 3 hours. An hour if I'm just starting the book, 3 hours if I'm in the middle of the book and I just can't put it down. More if I'm like in the last 100 pages, you know the feeling. But honestly, if I'm not too sure about the book, sometimes I spend like 20 minutes reading a day. It just really depends on the mood that I'm in and the book that I'm reading. Number 6 is, where does the task pick up a book appear on your daily to-do list? Honestly, it appears at around like 5 p.m. I usually have lunch, then watch a bit of TV with my mom, then watch a bit of TikTok in my bed, and then I just read for the rest of the afternoon if I can. And I'm trying to read more right before going to bed because I know it's better for your brain and for your eyes and it helps you fall asleep. But YouTube is just so freaking tempting, man. Number 7 is, how many books do you reckon you own in total? And I just like counted them very quickly. I don't know if it's very accurate, but I would say I have around 180 books to 200 books. That is obviously without counting comic books or manga, and I would say if I counted those, I would have closer to 300 in total. So a lot, honestly. I'm very surprised. It's a good collection. And before we get to the next one, please leave a like and subscribe because it really does help my channel. Okay, let's keep going. Number 8 is, approximately how often do you bring up books in a conversation? And you know, people in my assumptions about me video thought I was super annoying and that I just kept talking about Percy Jackson and books to anyone and everyone, which is not true. I bring up books in a conversation when it makes sense. So when my friends ask me for recommendations, when we're talking about books, when my sister is asking me what she should read or what she is reading. So I don't usually bring it up unless it makes sense, you know? I don't just go like, so you like books, huh? Just so you know, I do love books, but it's not 100% of my personality. I promise it's not. I have more personality. I promise you guys. Number 9 is, what is the biggest book, page count wise, that you have finished reading? And that would be the last book in the Memorias de Dune trilogy. It's a Spanish trilogy I read when I was in 9th grade, I think. I really enjoyed it, and it's the 3rd book in the trilogy. It's exactly 942 pages. I remember because I memorized the number so I could tell everyone that I read a book with 942 pages. Number 10 is there a book you had to get your hands on against all odds? And I would say there are several. For a while there, getting these covers for the Heroes of Olympus was pretty hard, and especially also for the Trials of Apollo and Magnus Chase. Getting them in hardback was hard for someone who lived in Spain and wanted them in English. So I guess I went against all odds to get them, and my wallet is just over there crying in a corner because of how expensive it was. But you know, I just had to get them. They look so good, right? Like the hardbacks with those covers. RIP to the Son of Neptune and the Lost Hero. I couldn't save you. 11 is there a book you've struggled to finish just because you were too stubborn to DNF it? And for those of you who don't know, DNF starts for did not finish, and honestly, a lot of them.
Basically the Endgame trilogy, the last one, it's called, I don't remember, the last one. Damn, it was 200 pages and it took me so long to read it. I just wanted to skim it and throw it into the inside of a volcano.
Also, the 3rd book in the 100 trilogy, I wanted to rip off the pages. I was so mad because I loved the first 2 books, but in the middle of that book, I realized they were bad books. They were trashy, they weren't good, they weren't well written, and the characters were not well developed at all, and the world was pretty stupid, and it made me so mad. I was like, I can't believe I loved something this bad so much. So that one, I skimmed the second half of it because I was so freaking mad. I was like, hate skimming that book at the end. Number 12 is, what are 3 of your main book goals or reading goals for 2021? And I guess one of them would be my Goodreads reading goal, which is to read 40 books in total this year. It honestly says that I've read 44 just because I include the mangas I read. So I was counting the other day, and actual physical, you know, books, not counting manga, I guess, it would be around 18 books that I've actually read so far. So I don't know how I'm going to count them because, I mean, manga does count. I've read a whole lot of manga this year, but I guess that would be one goal, just reading a lot. And then another goal, I guess, would be to kind of like diversify what I read from more BIPOC authors and from just more diverse, you know, just not only read fantasy or sci-fi. I'm trying to read more contemporary as well. So I guess that might be another reading goal. I mean, another reading goal or bookish goal is keeping up this channel. So I guess that's the thing. My goal is to reach 2K soon, so make that happen. Number 33. Number 13 is, have you ever converted someone into a reader? I don't think I've converted someone into a reader, but I've definitely converted people to Percy Jackson, 2 of my cousins, 2 of my siblings, and 3 of my friends. And then I've also converted people to Six of Crows and other fandoms. So I haven't particularly made them readers because they already were, but I've steered them in the right direction. And the final one is number 14. Describe what books mean to you in 5 words. And for me, that would be best way to escape reality, also known as healthy way to escape reality. And that's basically all I have for you guys today. That was the book Addict Tag. I hope you guys liked it. Please leave a like if you do. Comment down below what are your reading goals for 2021, and subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. I post videos twice a week, so that's every Monday and Friday, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye!